Paul George, injured again. Just months after signing a $212 million mega deal with the Philadelphia 76ers, the nine-time All-Star is back under the knife, this time for surgery on his left knee. And for a franchise hoping to finally break through the playoff wall, this is not the news they wanted to hear. So what does this mean for Paul George? What does this mean for Joel Embiid? And is Philly's championship window already starting to close before it even opens? Let's break it all down. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for all the latest NBA breakdowns, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on PG-13's future in Philly. The news broke out of Philadelphia this week. Paul George has undergone arthroscopic surgery on his left knee following an injury suffered during a recent workout. The operation was performed by Dr. Jonathan L. Glashow at NYU Langone Sports Medicine in New York City, and according to the team, George is set to begin rehab immediately. He'll be reevaluated before training camp begins, but let's be honest, this is already raising red flags. PG is no stranger to setbacks. He's battled through leg fractures, shoulder surgeries, hamstring pulls, you name it. And now, at 35 years old, he's coming off one of the least productive seasons of his entire career. Just 16.2 points per game in only 41 appearances. That's the lowest scoring output he's had since way back in his second year with Indiana, when he was still a raw prospect out of Fresno State. And this wasn't just about load management or easing into a new role. George was clearly hampered by injuries throughout the year, missing games due to knee soreness, dealing with nagging adductor issues, and never quite looking like the elite two-way wing we've come to expect. For Sixers fans, this has to be concerning. They watched their front office go all in this past summer, handing George a 4-year, $212 million contract in free agency. This was the move that was supposed to finally push them over the top. Pair George with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, and suddenly the Sixers were supposed to be a powerhouse in the East, a true title contender. Instead, they're already holding their breath just to get PG back on the court by opening night. Let's take a step back. Paul George was drafted 10th overall by the Indiana Pacers back in 2010. He's played 15 seasons, suited up for over 900 career games, and made 9 All-Star appearances. He's one of the most respected two-way players of his generation. A guy who can lock up the opposing team's best scorer and drop 30 on the other end when healthy. But the key word there is healthy. And lately, that's been a big question mark. Injuries have cost him major moments throughout his career. Whether it was the devastating leg break with Team USA, his inconsistent stints with the Clippers alongside Kawhi Leonard, or now this, he's become something of an injury-prone star. When he's on the floor, he still flashes elite shot creation, clutch perimeter defense, and veteran leadership. But getting him on the floor and keeping him there has become half the battle. So what does all this mean for the Sixers? They're in a tight spot. Joel Embiid is 30 years old with his own injury history. Tyrese Maxey is entering his prime. And the Sixers' window to compete is right now. And this goes beyond just stats and rotations. This is about legacy. Paul George has accomplished a lot in his career, but there's still one thing missing: a finals appearance, an NBA championship. For all his accolades and highlight reels, PG has never made it past the conference finals. And this stint with the Sixers might be his last, best chance to finally change that. But first, he's got to get healthy. He's got to get back to being the player that made him a perennial all-star. and the clock is ticking. So what do you think? Can Paul George bounce back and help Philly finally break through? Or is this the beginning of the end for PG-13 as a top-tier player in the league? Let us know in the comments. And if you're rocking with this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your basketball crew. We'll be tracking every update from Paul George and the Sixers as the season approaches. This is the NBA, where injuries shift destinies, and one surgery could change the course of a franchise. Stay locked in. We've got you covered.